Hi guys, welcome to my channel called AllergyNat. I have wanted to do a blog about bringing about awareness to food allergies for a long time now, and I've just recently got that started. My blog is at allergynatblog.wordpress.com. So I also wanted to do the YouTube channel to sort of back up the blog. There are things I have posted on the blog that you would probably understand better, or just having a visualization of it is sometimes better than just reading about it. So I thought about just go ahead and doing the channel as well. So this is just going to be sort of an introduction. I've done an intro on the blog, so this is going to be an introduction as well. But we've got a 9-year-old daughter. Our 9-year-old daughter is allergic to peanuts, eggs, and milk. And I've heard some people say, well, they're just allergic to the food. You know, they just can't have that food. Well, it's a whole different ballgame than that. It's a whole different lifestyle. There are things you can't do. There are places you can't go because you're allergic to a certain food, and that certain food is there, so you can't go. So it's not just you can't eat that food. So I wanted to do this blog just to let people know, how we live and things that we do, because, we're raising our daughter who's allergic to food, so certain foods. So I wanted to do this blog to kind of bring about awareness about that. So in the beginning, right after she was born, she was probably about 2 or 3 weeks when they finally just realized, she's got a milk protein allergy. So we had tried everything, all the formulas that you can get over the counter, we had tried, and nothing was working. She was just throwing up constantly, projectile, and she wasn't putting on weight, so we knew that we had to do something. So at this point, my husband got online, started doing some research, and found a formula called Neocate, which is manufactured in England, but there's a company in Maryland that actually distributed it to the States. So I actually and what this formula is, it's an amino acid based formula. It's broken down past the protein. So therefore, babies who have a milk protein allergy can tolerate this formula a lot better because there's no protein in it. So I contacted this company and just told them our situation, what was going on, asked them if there was any way they could send us some sample cans that I could use or try to see if she could, if she could drink it. And they were more than happy to do that. She sent me 2 cans. We tried it, and it was like night and day. So the only way you can get this formula is through a pharmacy. The pharmacy has to order it for you. So that's what we had to do. And I got it from like Walmart, CVS. I think it was CVS that would do it for us as well. But most of the time I just got it through Walmart. And so they would order it for me each week, and then each week I'd go pick it up. Now, the formula is about $38 a can, so it's not cheap. So we had some help. We had churches were helping. We had the church helping us. We had friends helping us. Every once in a while somebody would just come, hey, I got you a can. So we had a lot of help doing that, because it's not a cheap milk, but she was just so much better on it. So that's what we did, and that's the route we went. So she was great on that, but once she started getting to the point where she could eat solid foods, start feeding her, baby food, we still didn't want to take the risk. We were still just kind of skittish about, she had the milk protein allergy. We were just skittish about giving her, afraid that we might just give her some kind of food that's gonna make her worse, or what if she can't tolerate this? So we decided to make our own baby food. So we just did our own baby food. I didn't do the jars or anything like that. We made our own. There are trays out there that you can get. I found the ice cube trays that have the lid on it, and we would puree the carrots, green beans, pretty much everything you could find in a jar. We did that at home. Just boil it, pureed it, and we would scoop it, put it in these trays. I would freeze it, take it out, and I would just put them in a Ziploc bag, throw it in the freezer, and it's good. So if we went somewhere, I would just, I had a little bowl that had a lid on it. I'd take a couple of cubes out, put them in that bowl, put them in a diaper bag, and if we went to a restaurant or something, most restaurants were actually helpful on, can you pop this in the microwave? Or even when we come by, convenience stores have microwaves now, lots of times. We just pop it in the microwave. So, we had to work things out, and you kind of had to know where to go for people to kind of assist you with that. But anyway, it worked out really good, especially if you were like going to somebody's house for dinner, or, just going over to our mother's house or something. Pop them in there, and, you've got her food with you. So that works out. When she was a year old, my mother was actually decided to feed her some grits. Grits and eggs, I think. But anyway, that's how we found out she was allergic to the eggs. Actually, peanuts too. Process of elimination. She got fed the allergen. My mother actually fed her eggs and thought, this child's not going to stop vomiting. She thought, there's nothing else in there. She's going to end up throwing her stomach up if she doesn't stop. So it actually scared her pretty good. It was just projectile vomiting, and she would not stop. But at this point, she finally calmed down. I didn't think anything of it. Really didn't think twice about it. We just said, okay, no more eggs. We're not going to feed her any more eggs, and we didn't. That was probably when she was 11 months. A month later, we were at my mother-in-law's house, and we were feeding her some peanut butter cookie, and she did fine. It was like a week before. It was like right at Christmas, and we were feeding her. My husband was feeding her some cookie, and she did fine, no problems. Peanut butter cookie. So came home about a week later. My husband decides he's a peanut butter addict, so we always had peanut butter in the house. He decides he wanted to make some peanut butter cookies, so he did once again. Made the peanut butter cookies. Once he was done, came over, and we sort of had peanut butter cookies between us, trying them out, and she walks up. She's a year old. She steps up, and we sort of start feeding her peanut butter cookie between the two of us. And I could tell she had like just a little tiny hive that popped up on her lip. I mean, nothing major. That was it. That's all I remember was a little tiny hive right here. And I'm like, she's got a hive on her lip. And I'm like, you got milk in here? Because that's the only thing we knew that she had an allergy to. So I was thinking, maybe there's some milk in here somewhere. I don't know. So I actually just grabbed some Benadryl, gave her a little bit of Benadryl. Hive went away. Great. This was probably about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So when me and her laid down, it was about 9 o'clock. I had actually gotten in the bed with her to lay down, try to get her to sleep. And I was laying there, and this child started scratching her head. It was more like digging. She was digging in her head, just really bad. She's a year old. And I'm like, what is this child scratching at? So I reach over and turn the lamp on. And I, kind of sat up in bed with her and pushed her up. And I could see red. I could just see red. And I actually threw the covers back then and kind of got her over on my lap and pulled her shirt up. And I could see something. I'm like, what is this? And then I undid her diaper and pulled her diaper off. And my husband was actually in the recliner in the bedroom. He was on the computer. And I said, come look at this. And he runs over and he looks and he says, we had a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old in the house. And at that point he says, call your mother, get her over here to sit with the kids. We were on our way to the hospital. So, it didn't dawn to dial 911. I don't know why we didn't dial 911. She was beet red from here down to her thighs. It started trickling down her thighs, and her color was good, like knees down. She looked like, the way I describe it to people, she looked like you took a hive and you stretched it out and you slipped it over her head. over her body. That's what she looked like. She was beet red, everything, everywhere, except for her face. It's like right here was clear. There was nothing on her face. Her head, her scalp, down the back, here, everything was like a huge hive, and you could tell she was swelling, like there was some swelling to it. It was just unreal. Never seen that. So we got to the hospital with her, and they immediately started epi, steroids, Benadryl, the whole works, and they were constantly in and out for about an hour trying to get her. They were afraid things were going to start swelling up, checking her breathing, all this kind of stuff. So that was very scary. So at that point, the doctor starts asking us questions, okay, what has she eaten today? He kind of went through a little background there on some other medical things, but then he said, what has she eaten today? And I started going over what we had fed her. And I came to the peanut butter cookie. And he immediately was like, okay, that's it. She's allergic. I'm guarantee you she's allergic to peanuts. And I said, well, wait a minute. I said, Doc, that was like, 5 hours ago, 4 or 5 hours ago. And I explained to him what I did. I explained about the hive, and I had given her a little bit of Benadryl. And he said, what you did, you gave her the Benadryl, and that sort of, that calmed it down momentarily. But once that Benadryl wore off, it just came back full blown. It was still there. It just came back full blown. So they ended up sending us to the hospital, which is about 2 hours away. The specialist, UNC Chapel Hill, is where we take her, and that's where we went. And they did the testing, and it came back. She's allergic to eggs, because we told her. They asked us about the foods that we knew she had some issues with. And we told her about the eggs. They went ahead and tested her for the milk and the peanuts. Now, the first thing they did were the skin test. That's what we did when we first got there. And the eggs and the peanut came back positive. She's definitely allergic. The milk came back negative. And we were like, okay, this is the issue we had in the beginning. So they were assured us, she's not allergic to milk. Okay, great. So we went through everything as far as being allergic to peanuts, being allergic to eggs, what we had to do from here on out, what we had to watch for, and we came home. Still not knowing, it was really new to us. So I think maybe like a week later, I went to the grocery store, we bought grocery, came home. My older daughter helping me put groceries away. I had the milk, like half of a gallon milk jug that was sitting in the lower shelf in the fridge, in the door. And lo and behold, we turn around and my daughter says, Mama, look, she's got the milk. And she had the bottle, the lid off the half gallon jug. And she had it in her mouth, and she was kind of chewing it, just playing with it. And when I turned around and looked, and I grabbed it from her, from here all the way down, and it was starting to go down her neck, but she was hiving up. And I was just like, I knew it. She's allergic to milk. So that was a definite eye-opener. The skin test was negative, but she had milk in her mouth, and she was hiving up. So I called the doctor back, and he said, okay, let's do a RAS test. Let's just draw her blood, and we'll do it from there and find out what this comes back as. So we did that, took her back. They did that, and it came back positive for milk. So at this point, I tell you that because you just can't always trust those skin tests. To me, you can't. That, maybe some people can. We don't. From here on out, they've usually just drawn her blood to test her levels, her IgE levels, because the skin test did not show the milk. So, go with your gut instinct. If you think she's allergic and you feel like she's allergic, you're going to find out. Her body's going to tell you, or his body's going to tell you. Their body's going to tell you that, they're allergic to something. So that's how we found out about our allergies. We actually, from there, it's just a whole different ball game. We came home and immediately threw out all the peanut butter, anything with peanuts in it, granola bars, cereals that had peanuts in, peanut butter in it. You get rid of all the peanut butter in your house, and you no longer cook with it. You no longer eat it. It's over. So try telling that to a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old who love Reese's peanut butter cups, loves the Reese's peanut butter cereal, that they can't have it anymore. So it's not just, oh, that person just can't eat that food anymore. It's a lifestyle change for everybody in that house. So that's why I want to do this blog, and I want to get our lifestyle out there so you can see what we've been doing. We want feedback. If we're doing things if I'm explaining things or telling you things that we're doing, and you see something that, hey, what if you did this that might work better? That's what we want. Anything that's going to help us, and we're hoping that what we're doing, maybe there's something that can help you as well. We just want to make everybody aware that it's just not, they can't have that food. It's a complete lifestyle change for everybody and the family. My father loves roasted peanuts. Loved to do them in the oven himself. He had to stop. Couldn't eat peanuts anymore. So it's, because my mother was her caretaker. So you can't, it's a lifestyle change for a lot of people that, that are around her all the time. So anyway, that's my introduction, and I hope you do enjoy this. Read my blog, subscribe, follow me. I'm also on Facebook. AllergyNat is my Facebook page. I'll try to link everything to this introduction video as well. And hopefully, I'm hoping to upgrade my blog soon to another site, but you won't lose me. Be certain of that. It'll be there. But right now, it's at allergynatblog.wordpress.com. Allergynatblog.wordpress.com. And I just came up with the name of the channel, AllergyNat, is because our daughter's name is Natalie. She has a lot of allergies. So I just kind of combined the two and just said AllergyNat. I just tried to think of something short and quick that people could remember. She's also, not only does she have the food allergies, but she also has the environmental allergies and asthma as well. She's had a couple of hospital stays due to the asthma. She's allergic to grass, trees, weeds, especially animal dander. I'll do the cat allergy video soon. I'll do that and put that on here soon as well, and I'm going to put it on my blog. I think that's already on my blog. I think I've already got that listed, but that was a doozy. So you can read that as well. So thanks. Like I say, please subscribe, and I'll have more videos on here soon. Hope you enjoy it. Leave comments below. Would love to hear the comments from you. What can I do better? Like I said, this is my first video. Leave anything that you see I might be able to do better. Okay? Thanks. See you next time.